Hi guys, BellaDonna Black here, and here are 5 true creepy stories. So, turn off the lights, get comfortable, and let's begin. Number 1. I was about 4 or 5 years old and my parents had just separated. My mum was living in a 2-bedroom apartment. I had my own room, but I liked sleeping in her bed whenever I was staying with her. Our 2 bedrooms were at the end of a hallway, directly across from each other. Our apartment was on the first floor, and I remember that it was in the middle of the summer. My mum had a window open in her room that was directly behind the bed. Anyways, I woke up in the middle of the night and remember sitting up and seeing that her cat was sitting in the doorframe of my mum's room. Her room was open and you could partially see into my bedroom. It was strange because our cat was a huge snuggler and was typically always in bed with us. As I was watching him, he walked into my bedroom and meowed. I turned to face my mum and wake her up. In the 3-4 seconds it took her to wake up and ask me what was wrong. We both looked back up in the doorframe, and there was a man standing on my open door, making his way out of my bedroom. I still don't know how she managed to do it so quickly, but my mother proceeded to pick me up and literally to throw me out of the screen window. Again, we were on the first floor and it was maybe a 3-foot drop to the ground. She quickly followed and we were able to start screaming for help, and someone called 911. The police came but didn't see any signs of forced entry, only that our front door was unlocked, which led them to believe that the man must have exited that way. But the strange thing was that my mum swore up and down that she had locked the door that night with the deadbolt and chain lock. After a week later, she was cleaning the kitchen and opened up her water heater closet and found a notebook with names and drawings, as well as a pair of gloves and some gum wrappers. The man had been living in our house and hid until we were asleep. Number 2. A terrifying but true story I experienced when I was 12. I moved to my dad's when I was 10 and didn't know anyone in the area, except for the family, my dad with his friends. Single mum with 3 kids. Luckily there was a girl a couple years older than me, 12 at the time, and we got to know each other over a couple of years. We weren't close, but ended up having the same friends. One night, my friend Rob was hanging out with her and her younger brother. They happened to be in the house alone because my friend's mum was at work, which is where this gets terrifying and sad. Her mother has been helping this one lady through her work and got to know her fairly well. She found out her sister was in a mental institution and was out recently. The night Rob was hanging out with my friend, he had a knock on the door. My friend thought it was just her mum. She knocked a certain way when coming in and answered it without thinking. Rob wasn't supposed to be there and he took off through the window to his house down the road. He never thought twice about it. It wasn't her mum. It was the sister of the lady her mum was helping, and she figured out through talking to her sister where her family lived and her mum's working schedule. She came in, and this is where I don't know all the details, and I'm glad I don't. My friend's younger brother got away to the neighbours to call the police. The lady brutally murdered my friend a week from Christmas, decapitated her and left her body naked in a bathtub, hit her head. They had to look through the presents and I don't know where they found it, but they did. I wasn't allowed to go to her funeral. Number 3. This happened to my wife's grandmother about 15 years ago while we were still dating. Her husband had just passed away about a year previously, but she'd been going down to the library and volunteering, exercise and socialisation. This was in winter, so our walk back was while it was getting dark. The library closed at 5, and then there was some extra stuff to do before everyone actually left. And on this particular night, she turned down a ride home from another volunteer because, damn it, she needed to stay in shade. The house is about a mile away, through some lightly wooded area in South Texas. And as she is about halfway home, she notices someone behind her He's walking the same direction and gaining on her, which in itself isn't all that particular. She's old and thus not particularly fast, but in this case he seemed vaguely sinister. They keep walking. Pretty soon he's right behind her. Then he falls into pace, just staying behind her. Now she knows that something's up, but she's almost home. She can see the top of her driveway coming up, and she leaves her lights on, so it'll look like someone's home when she's walking in. She just needs to make it another 150 yards, then 100. All that time, she said he was so close that she could feel his breath on her neck. Maybe 50 yards, it happens. Strong hand on her shoulder. Okay, bitch. Don't turn around and hand over your purse, or I'll fucking cut you. She stops for a second, then takes one big step forward, turns, and shoots the guy in the neck with the .38 she kept in her purse. Hey, it's Texas. The guy spent the next 5 years in a prison hospital before he died of complications. My wife's grandmother passed away last year. Up to the end, she admitted that she'd pulled the trigger too soon. My late husband would have been embarrassed to know I missed. Number 4. I was sitting in my room after getting out of work on the second floor. Little brother is downstairs watching TV. The dog is in the hallway outside my door sleeping. All of a sudden, the dog starts making all kinds of racket, jumping around, barking, clacking nails, howling. I go to see what's up and hear, "Aw, that's a good girl," in a male voice. It didn't sound like my little brother, so I go, "Oh, you're home early," thinking it's my dad's friend, our roommate, as I open the door. Soon as I'm out there, there's no one at all but the dog, wagging her tail, staring at the empty end of the hallway. My little brother comes upstairs to yell at me for getting the dog riled up. He said he heard the same voice, thinking it was me, or our roommate. He did a once-over of the house with my butterfly knife and his BB gun, and there was nobody. Still gives me the spooks to this day. Number 5. My aunt experienced something similar. She was home alone when she heard someone open the door and walking in the hallway. Since her husband was not supposed to get home for a few hours, she went downstairs to see if someone was there. She did not see anyone, but outside the door she saw footprints in the snow leading to the door, but not away from it. This got her nervous, and on a second glance, she saw an unfamiliar pair of shoes in the hallway. She ran up and called the police. And when they came and searched through the house, they found a homeless man hiding in a storage room, holding my uncle's shotgun. But luckily, he had not found the ammunition. It was hid in another place. He was arrested, but according to my aunt, it is the scariest thing she has ever experienced. Hi guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and subscribe to my channel. You can also check out my Facebook page and my Twitter. Both links will be found in the description below.